Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up, players? Welcome back to the Baccarat Rounder channel. Let's make some money today. So we have a special treat for you today. Today we're going to be going over our balanced bet, or showcasing our balanced bet betting system here. Balanced bet is a generalized version of the balanced Baccarat system, only it's able to achieve profits on all of the even money wagers. So expanding out to odd even, roulette for odd even, red black, high low, as well as the banker player on the Baccarat tables here. So let's get into it here. We are at what are we gonna do here? So that was a. So let's see. We'll use $10 base bets. Right now our account is at 9,898. Let's do this. Let's set a target of $10,000 total profit. Should be $100 for this table here. That'll achieve two things. We'll get into the balanced betting system and maybe record a nice milestone for the system here. So as you can see, the balanced betting in roulette mode here, we'll select the even money bets for you. It allows expanded betting opportunities beyond the Baccarat table. Basically, you're just looking at a banker player, but in the roulette we have some more opportunities, and it's going to select the best opportunities based on what's happening in terms of the table and what's working for you at that time here. So our first bet, of course, is a loss. In addition, we are going to use a money management system. So our next bet will be a $2 bet here, 2 unit on the odd. For money management is just as in the balanced Baccarat system, I'm using a modified Alembert. Again, I think we can probably do better on the money management system, but right now that seems to be working for us. And the bets can get high. I've testing this week. I think the highest bet I've seen was a 9-unit bet. So you want to make sure you're properly bankrolled when using any negative progression system here. I have done some testing with positive progression with some mixed results, and we'll continue to test that out here. All right, so wait for the result, and we win that result, so that's good. So now we are 1 unit in the black, so which makes us want to bet on black. So we're going to put 1 unit on black and see what we're going to go. I know I'm rambling here, so I'll probably keep quiet here. If you guys have suggestions on what you'd like me to talk about while we're playing here, but I just wanted to get some real live recorded play sessions for you. I know the videos have been a little sparse, but between work, testing new ideas, playing, and trying to learn things like editing videos, it's been kind of a time strain here, so I've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks here. Next video we'll be posting a bankroll performance. Waited to the end of January. We'll do a month-end performance review here, so we lose that bet. But basically we had a good month. We had nearly $9,000 in profits for the month of January. Again, real money. This is a real money account that we started with. Even before I had a business plan, I started with about $500, and we ran that up. So, but officially we're calling it $750 based on the business plan. But we'll review that in the next video here. Now, granted, that did include a monster day last Sunday, I believe, for over $5,000, and that also included a pretty big loss this last week. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, of about $1,300. So that's that's how it goes. We've moved up in levels. For the new system, I've dropped down. I was playing at the $25 to $50 base bet level. Now that I'm really getting some time on this new system here, I'm dropping down just in case something goes bad. So we're staying at the $10 level for a while here and see what happens. so we win that bet, which is awesome. Record that as a win. Now up 2 units, so we will place a 1 unit wager on red. So I don't want to give you guys any misconceptions here. The spreadsheet I'm using with the scripts behind it, that's just for convenience. This what I'm doing here is easily done on a piece of paper within a casino. Pretty sure a casino won't let me bring my laptop or tablet to the roulette table here, but what I'm doing, the logic behind of what I'm looking for is simple enough that I think you can certainly scratch it out live within a table here. And speaking of live, I plan on having a upcoming trip soon. I haven't been to a brick and mortar yet in 2022, which is unusual for me. But been focused on certainly work and then this channel here, trying to learn the things I knew to grow this. So as we continue to learn these things, hopefully publishing videos will become quicker and easier for me. So we won that red bet. Now we are going to place a 1 unit bet on high. We need about 7 more units to make our goal of growing the bankroll over $10,000. And let's see what happens here. So we're looking for high. Anything 19 and above. And that brings up another interesting thought that I've had, or something I quite haven't decided yet, is how to deal with the green, right? The zero. As you can see, I'm playing European roulette, which only has 1 0 better odds here. I've toyed with the idea of hedging a little bit. Just putting a small amount on the green just to negate if that hits, or just taking the hit as the house edge. And I'm leaning lately towards just taking the hit. If I was martingaling or had the bets go really crazy high, and maybe on those higher bets I'd want to hedge. But as I'm going up and down through the Alembert sequence, I think the math works out either way. It's whether you want to take a small paper cut each time you bet, or take a big hit once in a while. So I'm leaning towards the just letting the zero happen, and if it just counting it as a loss if it does. So we are on a 2 unit bet, an odd. And it was even, so we hit another loss here. So as you can see, the Alembert likes those odd even bets lately. Basically, it's a up 1 unit when you lose, and down 1 unit when you win. I've got some tweaks and modifications to try to keep the bet size from getting out of hand. So I'll look to reduce the bet in opportunity when opportunity strikes. Beyond that, if you don't do that, and one of my very favorite channels is the Gambling G channel. Learned a lot from him. He discusses, I think he calls it money management, and he uses a few different techniques. Mine are a little bit different than his, but the principle is the same: is get back to base bet as close as soon as you can. You don't want the bets getting out of hand, and you'll see here, as I said, the bets can grow pretty decent here. So we need to try to get down to base bet as soon as we can. All right, so we scored a win on that. That's 3 units. We will now be placing a 2 unit. Again, I'm using $10 base bet, so 2 units for $20 on red, and we'll see where we're at. So we are 3 units of profit, and hopefully we can catch a winning streak here and not make this video too long here. One of the downsides of trying to record a live video as you speak is you never know how long the session can be to hit your goal. I like to have some pretty decent goals for the session. And one of the advantages that you have as the player over the casino is you get to pick when you leave and when you don't. So with this style of money management, I'm not gonna go too crazy into the red. Well, you may define that a little bit differently, but it's not like a martingale system where you're in or you're out pretty quick here. So I will play for a while to grind it back to even if I have to. And speaking of even, that's what we're going to be betting on. So we're going to be placing a 3-unit bet on even. That's $30. And again, the system is really kind of trying to find a pattern here and lock onto that pattern, and hopefully we can ride a couple wins to our goal here. But as I said, you can go into the hole. I've gone into the hole several times. Just maintain your discipline, have the bankroll to weather out the storm, and you will eventually come out ahead. Easy to say though, right? Easy to say. In practice, in the heat of battle, it can be a little bit difficult. So. Again, we have another loss here. Moving up to 4 units. As I said, you want to be properly bankrolled for this, and don't lose your discipline. In the past, when I was starting out gambling, you lose that discipline. You feel like you need to get that money back in 1 or 2 bets. You start increasing your bets just on a whim. And it just seems like it never works out for you. So maintain a structured plan, and that's what I'm trying to put into this whole channel here, is kind of distill some of the general principles. As you can tell, I'm not selling this system right now, or I don't think I will sell this system. I'm not a system seller. I'm hopefully give you some general principles. I will tell you that everything that's in this system you can find on YouTube. There's nothing special about this. But what I think might make a little bit of a difference is the discipline I've instilled both in the individual betting system as well as the overall business plan here. So we have another loss here. As you can see, our bets are growing here. We're now in the hole for 6 units here. So we are going to. Oh, that's wrong. We're going to go low for 5 units. And this is not unusual, both in Baccarat and in the roulette testing I've done. I've seen, as I said, up to 9 units so far. I fully expect to go to 15 units, and which is why I've dropped down my base bet to that $10 level. I'm properly rolled for at least the $25 level, but until I gain some experience, it will stay at this $10 level here. As you can see, we've taken a 9-unit swing from +3 to -6. So let's see if we can catch a couple wins here. And there's our low. Alright, so we've got a low win. So now with that win, we will drop down. Still likes low. So we will place a 4-unit wager on low. When I put this video together to publish, I'll see if I can find some cool chill music in the background here. I realize there's a lot of dead air, as they say, and I feel the need to fill it, but frankly I'm not saying anything useful, so maybe I should just be quiet and put on some music in the background, and if there's anything that comes up. But I don't expect anything crazy. As I said, I'm just trying to maintain this discipline, follow the system. Don't get too crazy when I lose. Don't get too crazy when I win. All right, so we are gonna put a couple wins together here. We're gonna put a 3-unit. Must see something in this high-low bet, because our last 3 bets have been on the high-low side of things here. So let's see if we can put together a couple wins here. Pop over to high, and we'll be back to our high point. Or actually, we're at our high point right now. So if we win this bet here, we will have a new high point. Ooh, and I actually made a mistake here. That should be $30, but is what it is. We'll call it a 3-unit bet for the sake of this this bet here. So that should have been a $30 bet, guys, and just didn't put enough out there. Is what it is. And that looks to be low. Okay. All right. Well, we saved ourselves $5. Good for us. See, I meant to do that. All right, 4 units on odd. Seeing something in the odd. Again, let's not make that mistake again. There we go. 4 units on the odd. So again, this is typical what I've seen both in the simulator testing as well as some low, 50-cent base bet testing. I like to test very low bets on the actual tables that I'll be playing before I jump up to my business plan base bet, because again, I said this earlier, but I think, to me, the simulators seem beatable, and then when I get on these tables, for some reason, the results can be different here. So we'll win that bet. So there's a quick 40 for us, and now we're dropping back down to base bet. So there's one of the modifications in the Delibert. So if you were following a strict Delibert betting system, your next bet would have been $3, right? We're at 4, you win 1, you go down 1. However, one of the techniques I use, and I think Gimlet uses this as well, is when I make a new high point for the session, I'll drop back down to base. There's no reason to stay up that level. I'd rather play a few more spins and keep my bet levels within a manageable level here. So there's a little tip for you here. If you are following some sort of negative progression, if you hit a new high point in your session, drop down. Maybe you don't have to drop down to base bet. Maybe instead of dropping down 1, you drop down 2, but use that opportunity to get closer to your base bet. Here's our red win, which is good. Let's see here, still likes red, so we will place another 1-unit bet on red. We're halfway towards our goal here. We are up 5 units. I think we needed 10. We needed about 10 units here. See if we can get a little red streak going here. Red on the wheel, not on the profits. Yeah, we got another red. Awesome. Chalk up another win. So now we will place a... Oh, switching dealers here. Just wait a minute. All right, 1 unit on low. I know I keep saying this, but I feel it's important. This is real money. You guys have probably seen this table before. I know a lot of the YouTubers out there will play this table. Obviously, we like to play the European roulette, simply because it has the 1-0 instead of the 2 zeros. A little bit better odds. I should say a little bit lower house edge. The odds are pretty much the same in terms of each bet I'm wagering on is close to a 50-50 bet. In fact, what doesn't make it a 50-50 bet is the when you hit those zeros. So we hit a low, so that's good. We will now place a 1-unit wager on black. Again, what we're doing is we're looking at a combination of what is working and what is not. And that's how the system is making a selection, the bet selection here. So it's much easier in Baccarat, where you only have one wager to monitor. In roulette, you're jumping that up to 3 wagers, but it's still doable. So I think in the brick and mortar, certainly you're not going to be bringing an app. I don't think they'll let you have an app or your phone at the table, but they do allow you to write down your bets on a card, and I think you'd certainly be able to do this on a card within the time between each spin, especially live. Live is much slower than online. So we're looking for a black, but we got a red. Alright, so we lose that bet here. So now we're going to move over to the even side of things, and since we're following a Alembert, we're going to move our bet up 1 unit, so we place 2 units on even. Now, the money management can certainly make a difference in how long you play. At least in this shoe here, and we won that bet. If I followed a martingale, a 4 or 5 level martingale, I'd probably be done. But to me, that's just a little too risky. I'd rather just spend a few more minutes at the table and slowly grind out these profits. I know there's a lot of channels out there that love the martingale. The bet selection can be even simpler. You know, some guys are just betting on player for 8 straight players, and that's going to work most of the time. 99 point whatever, 6% of the time. It's just that one time it doesn't. You crush your bankroll, and I'd rather, if I'm going to crush my bankroll, I'd rather do it slowly over the course of several days, weeks, and months, and giving me a chance to say, hey, something's wrong here, and what can I do to improve it, versus, oh my gosh, I have no money left. So this is just my style of play. I'm not bad mouthing the martingale. I think it has its usefulness. It's just not my style of play. I guess I'm too much of a chicken to do that. I've done it, and the results have not been great. Well, I should say they were great until they weren't, and that's the problem with the martingale. You can have a month of great profits, and that one day wipe out your entire month. I'd rather, as you see, I'm not claiming this is the holy grail. The next report you'll see I had an up and down week. I actually lost money last week, $76 I think it was. But on a close to, not at the time, I think it was $9,000 bankroll. $76 is not too bad. So if I can make $5,000 in one day and lose $1,300, I'm trying to get rid of those types of losses by changing the bet selection, tweaking things, trying to figure out how I can do better. If you have the martingale, you don't have that opportunity. It's gone. It's gone. By the time you realized you got a problem, you're wiped out. So that's just my thought and philosophy. I'm not here to badmouth any channel. I think there's a lot of great stuff out there. There's some great channels too, by the way. I mentioned Gambling Chi. He's probably got to be in my top 2. The guy's Real Money. I think he follows a similar bets, or maybe not bet selection, but money management that I do, kind of conservative. And so I'm sure you've heard of him, but if you haven't, check out the Gambling Chi channel. Very good content. So this will be it, guys. I mean, if we win this bet, we will have reached the $10,000 threshold. Now that I said that, I pretty much guaranteed a loss, because that's just, I jinxed it. And we'll probably spend the next 2 hours grinding it back. But let's hope we get an even here, and I can keep this video short and sweet, and we'll go from there. And I did jinx it. It's typical. I should have kept my mouth shut. Alright, so we're going to go up to a high bet of 2. I'm not going to say what the implications to our bankroll for this bet is either. But just that's what you need to do, is you need to put together a plan. And we're going to start with some general principles. I can't tell you that tomorrow I'm going to fully disclose what I'm doing here, simply because things are changing. And the last thing I want to do is tell you guys to go play a system, and then you have a day like I had last Thursday where just nothing worked right. And we'll talk a little bit about that day, but it just seems to go until I made some minor tweaks this week. I'd have great days and I'd have bad days, and last week was the poster child for that. It just simply, there's our high. So there it is, guys. We just grew a bankroll of around $5,000 to over $10,000 here. As you can see, our balance is $10,003.55. That is something that we're, I'm pretty proud of, and I think I want to encourage everyone out there. This is not a follow me system. We're going to talk general principles on how you can develop your own system. I'm not saying all system sellers are bad, but I will tell you that every system will fail and every system will win. It's just you need to control the times when you win and when you lose, and as I said earlier, try to win more than you lose. So with that, I will kind of shut things down here. Please come back for more content. We'll be getting into how I developed the system. The next video will be a bankroll review, but pretty happy with the results for the month of January. As I said, we've made almost $9,000 and tacked on a few $100 for the month of February as well. So until next time, we'll see you next time on the Baccarat Rounder.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.